We've got pop group Moxi, our game On the Mox, and the Blue app today on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hey everyone, welcome back for an all-new episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is all new and real.
When you're dating in the city. I'm Jen.
And I'm Lauren. And our drink of the day today is tequila. It's a little tequila mixture that we like to call a La-Mox-Tail. It's nosotros tequila and our favorite La Croix to make a La-Mox-Tail because our guest today likes the hard stuff, and that is music to our ears, people.
Sure is, guys. Today we've got Anna Toy of the musical group Moxi in the studio. So see, there's the play on words.
Oh my God.
La-Mox-Tail instead
La-Mox.
of La Croix, which sometimes people say La Croix.
Or LaCroix. It's just, listen, you say it how you want to say it, but we made a cute drink.
We did, La-Mox-Tail. And so now you should go order that in all of the restaurants that serve tequila and say, I want a La-Mox-Tail.
And drink it whilst you listen to Moxi.
Exactly. This flavor, by the way, is fantastic with tequila.
It's French.
It's a curate or something.
it's
Pina Frost.
It's a Mexican-French drink we just made.
That's a
also.
thing.
Real. La-Mex
Fusion,
French.
if you will.
Anyway, Moxi, if you're wondering, is a Los Angeles-based indie pop outfit bit on the dreamy, ethereal vocals of Anna Toy, who we will have in here today, surrounded by the moody, atmospheric keyboards of Andy Toy, who is her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. They draw on the elements of pop and classic cinema and 80s new wave we love. Moxi presents Anna's distinct vocals against the backdrop of this like dark electronic textural music. It's like innovative guitar sounds and like dream pop melodies. It's sort of like mixes like the modern, I think, like electronica feel with this like really floaty angelic voice and like a dash of 80s is how it sounds to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is quite the mixture. We'll have to play some of that later.
Yeah.
And Moxi's successes to date include sharing the stage with bands such as Sir Sly, Wildcat, and Gunger, among others. And they've also received numerous TV placements and global recognition, being featured on shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, The Young and the Restless, I'm Kate, Total Divas, and Made in Chelsea. So with over 1 million hits on Spotify, Moxi is ready for their next endeavor. And that is Figures Bathed in Light. That
Which
was released
this summer, you guys.
That's
So-
their new EP.
Yeah, that's their latest EP, and it was produced by Emmy Award-winning songwriters and mixers that have worked with the likes of like Beck and Radiohead. And the
Damn.
4-song release is a result, this is interesting, of a writing retreat that they took to a cabin in like the desolate mountains of Big Bear in California. The weekend, they kind of like used it as an escape and they let their creativity flow. And then it turned into this wonderful EP filled with like spiritual reflection, conquering life's demons, and facing the dark as well as the light, which shows up in some of their songs.
Sure does. And so, you know, the title track is called Figures Bathed in Light, and that was conceived after the couple escaped a near fatal car crash, which is pretty scary. This life-threatening experience empowered them, though, with a wealth of creative energy and the need to create art to immortalize the newfound hope that they had after this encounter. And you, again, feel the dreamy, floating quality of the music and fascination with the supernatural. And I wonder if that's because they had, like, the near-death experience.
We need to know more about that. 'Cause
I love that they took, you know,
Yeah.
such a dark thing and turned it into...
that is what we're going to talk to them about. So we're going to get Anna in here, and she'll answer for her husband because that's what wives do.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask her how she makes the business and romantic relationship work, how the creative and personal differences affect their love and their music, and how they've helped each other find the silver lining after going through some difficult times and turned their hardship into sweet, sweet music.
Man, I love a good love story, and also when you turn hard times into something positive. The fact that you can even just pick yourself up and go keep on going is everything.
I agree. Very
But
inspirational.
before we get into all of that inspirational stuff, guys, we're going to fill you in on what we've been up to this last week and air our dirty laundry, starting with you.
Live your life, people. Okay, so I've discovered over the past like chunk of time that like everyone's busy for their own reasons, like, and in a relationship it's easy to get caught up in like some of the busy things that the time entails. For me in particular, my boyfriend has a daughter, so when I'm with him and she's there, it's like it's fun and great, but it's like, you know, you're taking care of it. It's like having a child, right? Obviously, which is how it should be. And all of that comes with a lot of great things, but it's a lot of time. So it made me realize that you can still do, I think it feels daunting to think about like, oh, okay, well, there's a child in tow, so maybe we can't do that, or that's going to be hard. But it's actually like, I've got a bunch of friends who don't do that. They still do their own thing. And like, my boyfriend had a friend in town. We went to the Roosevelt Hotel and like swam and drank and laid by the pool with my boyfriend's daughter. Like, it's not, and we weren't the only ones there doing. There were other kids there. It was like, just do the things.
Well, she's older, so I feel like she's like a little mini person you can bring around and talk to.
Well, it also think about the fact that if you had a baby, that would be a lot easier because they just sit there and don't move. So you're like, okay, I can have a full-on conversation, and the baby is here, and there's not going to be like, come swimming with me, come do this with me. So every aspect of a child's life has different, you know, things that you need to pay attention to, but it's like you don't let things like that get in the way of you thinking like, oh, you can't have fun or you can't live your life.
Like, you still have to do your life and have the kid around. Otherwise, you're literally just a parent and you have nothing else in your life.
And you can't, and people can fall into that really easily. And then we had a barbecue at my boyfriend's, and you know, it was sort of like my post Labor Day. I said I wanted to have like a post Labor Day celebration, and I sort of did. Like, it was fun to cook for everybody and have people over, and again, drink and, you know, play board games in the backyard. And then this weekend I'm going to Palm Springs for like a real last hurrah, summer hurrah for the day.
Lots of fun.
Exciting.
I had GN Irma instead of GNI, Girls Night In. It was Girls Night In, but we focused on Irma, the hurricane, because I was with a girlfriend of mine that we went to college together. We're both from Florida, and we both have puppies. And so we were like, let's combine forces and sit and order food. The dogs can play. We can talk about the path of Irma and contact our families. And like, we were both very stressed. So there was, you know, and if you're going to hang out with other people, they weren't really going to necessarily understand the stress level that we were going through because we've experienced hurricanes, and it was our focus. So nothing we were going to do was going to take that focus away.
It's probably better in anything in your life, and like relationships or whatever. You don't want to like get lost in dwelling, but you also can't ignore. Like, if you're worried about something, you can't be like, I'm just going to pretend I'm not. Like, you need to be able to like let that out somehow and go through it.
And we did. Yeah. And then we also watched Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. So that was a lot of fun. It was not a good episode last week, so you can skip right over that one if you haven't seen it yet. But tonight there's a new one, so stay tuned.
Can't win them all.
You cannot. And then on Saturday, I had a similar day, actually. I like to call it my version of GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, where it was more like yoga, nails, pool party, and a date. So none of those letters work out. But
whatever.
The point is, I did all the things.
Who needs an acronym?
Right, exactly. So got my nails did with a girlfriend. It's like our ritual every 3 weeks. Did yoga. It's what I do on the weekend.
I wish my nails lasted 3 weeks.
You know,
mine last 10 days. And then I had to do them myself. But as you can see,
did a
it's
good
like
job.
As soon as the temperature drops to 78 degrees instead of 88 degrees, I'm like, it's fall!
You know what? I'm going to give my long nails a go with that at some point.
Yeah,
and
you should.
See if I don't look like a streetwalker.
No,
but
you won't.
We'll see. But yeah, so I went to a pool party also where there was a 9-year-old, and it was her dad's birthday. And so she, every 5 minutes, was like, will you come in the pool with me? And I'm like, I'm not going in the pool, but I don't know how to tell her that. I'm not straight out going to say no. So I'm going to distract her with other things. I'm like, he'll go in the pool with you, or I'll be there soon. And soon to her means nothing because everything is 5 seconds from now. So I just kept delaying it. I'm like, I will compromise. I'll put my feet in, and then I'll talk to you. Or like, I'll bring you your beverage. She was having virgin margaritas.
Stop.
It was like really lemonade, but it was so cute.
That is funny.
And then she'd ask me a lot of questions like, why am I not in? Like, why am I wearing that bathing suit? Like, there's a lot of questions that happened.
Yeah.
So why don't you have a boyfriend? I was like, are you my nail lady? Stop asking
might
me.
have been.
Well, and then everyone tried to set me up with our bartender, and then he has my number now, and I just don't really know about that one. But,
Oh.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
His name's Lamar, and he's white. I don't get it.
Oh, I have a distant cousin named Lamar who's white.
What's that about?
I have no idea.
Someone got confused. But
That is
anyway,
very
or it's
confusing.
very trendy. I don't really know.
Who knows?
Anyway.
All right. Well, you guys, we have our new favorite segment. We need to talk. You asked and we listened. And this week's listener question comes from Rebecca S. She asks, why does a guy disappear after you've been talking online for a bit? Or why do people talk and then ever ask you out? We've talked about this a lot. We might be repeating ourselves.
I mean, I'm still in the throes of this world because I'm also single, like Rebecca S.
Yeah.
And it does happen. I'm criminal doing it too, where
Sure.
you'll be talking to someone, and then all of a sudden you either I'll give you a multi-prong approach to this. Either you realize you like someone else more, or you just lose interest because you're like, this person is not asking me out and we're pen pals, or you just realize, like, you know what, like, this person was fine, but like I don't really want to make the effort and time in my life to go out with that person. So I do think because we have so many options out there, it's like never ending options. Even like this weekend I was like, you know what, I like certain apps and those are more my speed, but nothing's happening on them right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see what else is out there, and maybe there's a whole slew of people that I haven't tapped into yet on a different app. So now I'm gonna download that app and forget about the other one. I think the problem and also the blessing of having these apps is that there's so many options and there's so many apps. It's not like there's one app and everyone's on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like in the old timey times where it was like you go to your community's temple or church and that's where you meet people, or you go to the 4 restaurants in your proximity and that's where you meet people.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can scour the internet and the world, because some apps even allow you to swipe in other cities in like across the country.
The problem of people disappearing is just inevitable in real life or on an app, but it just is a little bit, I guess it feels different on an app. I think the problem with apps is the lack of connection. So they do connect you and they connect people, but because there's no face-to-face interaction, I think it is where the disconnect occurs, and then it's easy to not have a specific memory. It makes it feel less special. If you were to meet someone in a bar, you've spoken to them, you've talked to them, you've seen them, you've looked in their eyes, it's more of a connection. You're going to forget about it less. You will contact the person because you had to physically ask for their phone number. There's just more that goes into a face-to-face interaction. It's easier to let it fall off the plate when there's a million options. You don't meet a million people at a bar. And when you're not seeing that, you never saw them before, so you don't really know what to expect. It feels a little more mysterious. It just slips in the cracks easier because of the disconnect of the app.
Well, they're essentially a stranger. So I think the way you would treat someone you know is way different than the way you would treat a stranger, because no harm, no foul.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, yeah. It's like you don't owe them anything because they're a complete stranger. So a lot of people, you know, obviously go through the motions of like trying to meet the person, but then it's like, well, ultimately, I don't really care about you because I don't know you. So if I forget about you and don't write back, it is what it is.
That's what.
And we all know you're going to keep swiping. We're going to keep swiping. So we're doing the same thing.
So
I do wish.
Just to interject for a second, to try and solve the problem, just try and make it more special. Keep that in mind for yourself. Do something different and like try and make yourself stand out, because you can only control yourself. So
Right. And I mean, I do wish that there would be an app that like, or people would take it a lot more seriously, where it's like, okay, you swipe for meaningful swipes with people you actually want to meet, not anybody that might be decent, because ultimately once you match, then you might even decide, I don't want to reach out to that person in the first place. Like, I just kind of thought, well, they were the option I was presented with, so I swipe right, and I'm criminal of that. So I have a lot of matches and people I don't even want to talk to.
Well, I hope that answered your question, Rebecca.
Yeah.
We're going to pack our bags and get to emotional baggage with the celebrities and baggage claim real quick. Guys, we've got a bachelor happening.
It is so odd, but apparently the most exciting bachelor choice in history and the most well-received, it's Ari from Emily Maynard's season. He was the runner-up, and he's the race car driver, and he was salt and pepper then, but he's very gray now, so you can look forward to that. He's the new bachelor, and that season starts in January, but there's a hater, and he's gonna hate.
Jeff Holmes he was the one that Emily picked.
Right.
I liked him.
He's also on dating apps if you want to date him, guys. He's available.
Yeah. And anyway, he was just like, dude, that guy's scum. Like, he was my friend, and he is not. I mean, he basically is saying he's like a huge player, but we'll see.
Yeah, in no uncertain terms, he basically called him out and said he's disgusting. That's why I'm not friends with him anymore. He used to like go through like sorority houses and all that jazz. But yeah, so he's the new Bachelor, and listen, I wanted to be part of that cast and see what happened, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But so that's why we're naming Jeff Holm our wreck of the week, because he sounds like he's got his panties in a bunch, and also like he's a big old hater.
Yeah. And
maybe jealous.
And also, you guys, it finally has happened. We've been talking about it for years. The Foxx and the Holmes.
I like that.
Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx have come out. There was pictures of them in Malibu over Labor Day weekend, and but Jamie Foxx has been known. Well, first of all, he did a movie with Tom Cruise, and we think maybe that's where they kind of all met. Yeah, and then he's been interviewed saying like he's never gonna get married again. Like, why would you do that? And that's not to say he's not in love with her. It just sounds like both of their stance are sort of like, she's even said like there's no 5-year, 10-year plan. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. And so, we'll see. They both have kids, and I think that they're cute together, and they kept it under the radar, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, for like 5 years, we didn't know for sure. And like, also, that was super smart of them. They were left alone. So I think maybe other celebrities might want to take a page out of their book if they want to stay under the radar. But guys, hardships are hard, and we're just going to end on this where it's like, I don't even know how to address this, but
It's sad.
Jonathan Rhys-Meyer's wife, Mara Lane, just recently revealed she had a miscarriage and that he now suffered a relapse in terms of his alcoholism. And she's standing by her man saying, you know what, we just went through the hardest time ever, and he's got an addiction, and he's got now a sober living person that's helping him out, a bodyguard. He was actually like, he couldn't be at 2 rehabs because he was like sent away, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to find the right sort of treatment and the right thing,
Especially
but
for a
she
celebrity.
is for sure the rock of the week because she didn't ask for like the limelight and the fame. She's still sticking by her man, and she's going through a hard time for herself and for her family. So Marlene, you are our rock.
Yep, and also because she's still a mother at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
To one son, so
Yeah.
she's got her husband going through stuff, she's going through stuff, and she's got a parent all at the same time. So yeah, cheers
Good
to
for
her.
her, yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise finally ended. Thank the Lord. That was the weirdest
With the
finale
weird
ever.
proposal.
Oh my god, it was the weirdest proposal ever. And also, let's just like note that in no uncertain terms, Taylor said on TV, "I will not know if I'm in love with this person until I have sex with him." So then they had sex, and then she was in love with him, and it was like
That's how it works.
but like she was very clear with him. It was like, I didn't know this was a thing. Okay, good for you that you came out and said all that on TV. And that's how you fall in love, is by that. She wants to experience all of him.
Oh my God.
That's what she said. She like danced around it and was very explicit with it. She was not shy about saying she needed to go through that one last like level of intimacy with him, and it was sex. Otherwise, she couldn't get to that level of love that he was already getting to.
Oh my God, just have sex like a normal person.
Well, she did it, and now they're engaged.
Why talk about it so much? It's just that they do it,
It was
or
weird, I
don't
don't
do
know.
it. And the Real Housewives, you guys. Shout out to Gilbert, my hair guy, and my friend. He did Vicky's hair for her party, and it was really exciting to see him there. But you guys, these women are so immature. Like Megan King Edmonds is like, I feel like there's something wrong. And maybe she blames it on the hormones, but I am sorry. You need to get it together with the baby Aspen and the girly girl dog and I can't. But they gang. What I don't like about these girls is they gang up on each other and they go straight for the marriages and straight for the kids. And it's real immature. And I saw they did this season on at the end after they do like 4 episodes at the end of the episode. Oh my God. It's going to be good. I think that somebody's going to end up like single. They talked about like Eddie, Tamara's husband, making out with some dude. And
what?
I don't even know. So,
well,
hey, listen.
he's a very like pretty guy.
He
so.
is, and if there's rumors swirling around about potential homosexuality, but if Tamara and Eddie end up breaking up by the end of the season, which I don't think they do, maybe she can go on the Blue app because she's verified on Twitter.
And so the Blue app, guys, is for people with blue ticks. So that means you've been verified. You're either a celebrity, a public figure, God knows what. You paid them.
The
I
actual
don't know.
tick is white, but the circle is blue.
Right. I happen to be verified on Twitter, so I did download this app to see what it was all about, because essentially it's saying it's only like, I'm going to use this term very lightly, the cream of the crop because you are verified.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're a better person than anybody else. It just means you've been verified as who you are, and this avoids catfishing. Because again, people are still concerned about that because there are people that use photos that are not their own.
Right.
So I went on this app, and it's the Love Flutter app. And they just added this as like
This is a
the
new-
Tinder
yeah.
Gold, basically. It's like
Yeah.
the premium version. Now, there is nowhere on this app that I found the ability to even denote that I have a verified profile.
Right.
I did sign up with Twitter because I knew that it was for Twitter users. You can also sign up with Facebook, and nowhere. It does. There is nowhere that I can seem to find that allows me to show I am a verified person.
Yeah, so it's almost like, what's the point? Because that's supposed to be the upper echelon. Like, then you have a blue concierge, and
or they're going to set people up, like they're going to present you with good matches.
yeah. So, and apparently it's rolling out in San Francisco, LA, New York, London, and Tokyo, and more cities soon. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's got its shit together.
Soon seems like a very loose term. And apparently they're going to be giving the founding members the premium version for free, which you should. 'Cause
Otherwise, there's
it doesn't
some
make
monthly
sense.
fee. Yeah.
But because here's the thing, you can't pay to be verified, so why would you charge people to use the verified
Yeah,
version
that
of the
doesn't
app?
make sense to me either.
No. So you guys test it out. Let us know what you think. I'm our resident guinea pig because I'm on all these apps, and I vote no on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, otherwise you can just try Love Flutter, which is the
Stupidest name ever.
The other app that is the lower version of this one.
It's the only one that I could even find. So I think it is what it is, and it's dumb.
All right.
It
Okay,
makes me
guys.
blue.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to use it anymore. We have got Anna in the studio. Hello. Okay, can you see yourself center yourself in
That's
the
you.
camera? And thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here.
Wait, I think there might be an issue with the mic. Maybe try that mic.
Try that headset
Because
if,
we want to hear your beautiful speaking voice as well.
as well as your beautiful singing
Singing
voice
voice.
that we've taken a listen to, and you all should too. She is part of the musical duo Moxi. It's you and your husband, correct? And we are. Oh, can we? I don't know, Marissa. Can you hear Anna?
Hello. I can hear me in my ears, but
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, I think we might be good.
All
And
right.
just make sure you're right in the middle of the couch so everyone can see you. And I think that way a little bit.
there you go.
We're just adjusting, everyone. This is real. It is
Yeah.
real. And we have drinks for you too.
Yes,
I
Your
have
drink.
two drinks.
Yeah,
There you are.
just in case you get through one and you need
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, because
And
we
it's-
do play a
we'll
game with
see,
you in a
we'll
little bit,
see.
and you might need another
And it's
liquid
tequila.
courage. So,
Yeah.
and
that's
it's
your-
our La-Mox-Tail in honor
Cheers.
of you.
Yeah.
delicious.
Oh, well.
I love it.
Good, I'm glad.
Okay, so
Moxtail.
what came first for you? The marriage or the music?
The music.
Wait,
Oh,
so
well,
hold
we
on.
need to
So
hear
you
this.
met? Okay, so yeah, how
Tell
did?
us a
yes,
story.
Tell
How
us
did
how
you guys
that. Yeah.
meet and all of this come about?
So we've both been doing music for like forever. So I did like solo singer-songwriter type stuff, like kind of folky, like forever ago. And he got hired to play on my EP. So we met in the studio. But it's funny because like I was going through this terrible breakup. Like the guy I dated before him was like the worst ever, and he like cheated on me and like whatever. It's fine because I met Andy.
Yeah.
And he's like 5,000 times better. But I was like just in the corner in the studio, like about to cry. Like Andy's like first impression of me was just like, is that girl okay? Like, is she gonna be all right? But yeah, and then he started playing in my band, and we became like really good friends. And then we started writing music, and then it was just over.
So
you know,
did
at that point.
you? I mean, you were obviously in like kind of your own head and place at the time of meeting him. But how long did it take you to like start to look at him like that?
It's funny because like there was like zero of that our first interaction, you know.
For
But
both of
then-
you?
I don't know about him. I don't know what he would say. I think he would just say like he thought I was weird because I was just like
Super
clearly
emo
like
girl in the
yeah.
corner.
He's
Yeah.
like, who is she?
Yeah.
Like, does she need help?
But then I remember we hung out like maybe like a month after that, and it's so funny and like kind of cheesy, but like totally true. I like left being like I could marry that guy. Isn't that weird? And like I didn't really take it like that seriously, you know, because I was like, whatever, like. I kind of just like didn't really pay attention to it, but I totally like had that thought. Like I was like, he is so quality. Yeah.
So okay, so
About a month in is when you guys hung out. Now, did you hang out like for a date, or was it just like a friendly encounter?
It was friendly, but like the guy who had hired him in the first place, how I had met him, was there with his wife, and he kind of like arranged it, you know, so it was kind of like this awkward, like, we're just getting like drinks, but it was like kind of a date. But we didn't, that was like super early on, like we didn't start dating for like a year after that. But
What? Why did it take so long?
just because I was like crazy mostly. Like I was like, I'm not dating anymore. Like the guy before him, like seriously screwed me up. It was like you know,
That's a
everyone's
real
been
thing.
through that.
Yeah.
And you have to go through it. You can't,
Yeah.
for you recognize the fact that you needed time. And I think that
needed it.
everyone needs to not have an expectation of like, I need to be not feeling sad still, or I can't, you know, like it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
The level of hurt is different for everybody. And you obviously needed more time than,
I needed it.
yeah.
Well, and then Andy sounds like he was pretty patient, like for him to wait that long.
He was, yeah. And the funny thing too is like he's like a little bit shorter than me, and that was like my big hang up for forever. So that's stupid.
No.
No.
Well, now it's stupid like to me because he's like the love of my life. But at the time, like you know, you think about stuff like that.
But see, that's what we talk about, a lot of stuff like that on the show. Like, do you have a type or whatever?
Like your
And-
criteria that you create.
And that's okay to think about things that you, of course there are things you like and don't like.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I think, as long as you know what you like and what you're looking for, have an open mind about how that is going to be presented to you, and know the importance of those things on the list, because
Height is not essential. Like height
Yeah.
is not gonna like love you.
it is, and you're absolutely right, it is really funny for you now to be in
For
the
me
place
now,
you're in, to
yeah.
look
Right.
back and be like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
my boyfriend that I'm with, the guy I'm with now, it's like, I wouldn't have thought that I would, I mean, he's a good looking guy. I don't know that I would have pegged him as like that type that I would go
Yeah.
for, but I'm like, that's just silly at this point. I'm like, are you serious? He's like
Totally.
the greatest guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and he's all the other things that I want him to
Yeah.
be too. But I'm like, that's just funny that
Well,
yeah.
I think that the main difference is criteria is like what you think in your head that you want. And when you meet somebody in person, you meet their personality and you feel the
Totally.
chemistry, or you get to know them because you were working together. So you
Yeah.
learn things about him very naturally. And like you met yours through a friend very naturally. So like it's different when you meet somebody in person. I'm sure my whole height thing would go out the window if I met somebody in
yeah, yeah,
person
yeah.
and we had a strong connection and
Totally.
they won
'Cause
me
it's
over.
like the online dating
Right.
thing.
And then there it's just like, well, okay.
That's all you have to
I'm
go
gonna
on,
swipe
really.
right. You're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know your personality, so if I'm judging just by your height,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like,
swipe
well,
left because
totally.
I don't know you.
That's the
and I gotta
major-
discriminate at some
Yeah.
point
That's-
because otherwise there's
Yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
That is a major
know.
flaw in dating apps. That's what
Yeah,
was hard for
totally.
me to be on them, because I didn't know. I'm like, unless
like, what if?
Yeah.
unless I look at you and I'm like, ugh, no way. Then I don't know, because
Yeah.
how did you? So speaking of types, did you have a type? Is Andy totally physically? Obviously, he's emotionally different than that horrible
Yeah.
person before, but.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever had like I have a type of like a guy that I think is really attractive. Like I always liked like the tall, skinny, like kind of like musician types, you know, with like tattoos. And Andy has tattoos all over him, but he's Chinese and he's like a little bit shorter than me. I think he's like a total dreamboat. Like
Yeah, I'm sure.
100%. But like totally probably not what I
You
ever
wouldn't have
would have
thought.
thought I
Yeah.
would end up with. But he's like seriously better. I wish he was here. You guys would love him. He's the best.
I mean, he
adorable.
sounds amazing, and I
Yeah.
love that you guys made.
Does he have a brother?
Yeah, I
He does have a brother.
Oh,
actually.
I love that you guys made a connection through the things that you're both passionate about. And I'm sure that really established like a great foundation. So, how did you start to like realize as you're working together that there was a little bit more? And then, secondary to that, were you nervous about turning it into a romantic relationship since you were already working?
Yeah, we were. Well, we were working together on my solo stuff, and like he was playing shows with me, and we were kind of like I'd go over to his house on the weekends, and we'd do like cover songs. That was like kind of like the very beginning of Moxi, because we realized we're like, hey, these songs are sounding really good. We should just start writing together. But we were dating by the time we started writing like the Moxi stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I definitely was nervous. You know, I think it's always like, what if it goes bad? You know, but I don't know. Deep down, I kind of just knew. It's
Yeah.
like funny and cheesy, but I totally just knew.
What
A lot
was
of people
gonna
say the
work
same
out.
thing though.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's the difference between just dating and, you know, obviously you were in a relationship that didn't work out before. So they do say like that at some point you just know because you're ready.
And I never felt that way with the other guy. Like, I thought I loved him and I wanted to marry him, but I never like felt the way I feel now.
Now you know the difference in retrospect. Did you, in that moment that you went out on that weird date that was like set up, and you left going, I could marry that guy? That's different than, we talk about this a lot, like, what's that moment? And, you know, and we just had a show last week about like, well, just be open to that coming to you in different ways. Because a lot of people think that they're going to have a moment where they're like, oh my God, I'm going to marry him. But that doesn't sound like that's what you're saying. Explain that a little bit deeper. Like, what was that feeling? How did it feel? Like, just a very reasonable thought?
When I thought I could marry him?
When you were like, oh, I think I could marry that guy.
Yeah, it was more just like, holy shit, he is like personality-wise, I was just like, I don't know. It's so hard to explain.
It was like
more
a
just,
recognition.
Like, him, in general. Like, at this time, I didn't think I was attracted to him, but it was more just like, that's the kind of guy I want. Like, that kind of a thing, you know?
And that was your moment of knowing.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like a Disney movie necessarily.
No.
See, I think people need to know that. And it
And
can
it almost
feel...
scares you, I think, too. Like, I remember being a little bit, like, the first time he held my hand, I felt the same way, and it was kind of, like, freaked me out. Like, I'm like, am I being crazy right now?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think when you feel that, you just kind of know.
Yeah.
Well, I think you only know it for real, not when you're like a crazy girl signing like someone's last name with your first name, like
I mean,
prematurely.
we all have done it.
Sure, but like sometimes it happens a little prematurely.
Yeah, totally.
Where you go down a rabbit hole of like all the plans for the future, and you're like, we haven't even been on a second date yet. But I think that it happens, like, and it happens in so many people's stories when you're ready. Because you now recognize what's good for you versus what was bad for you. And you happen to have a situation that was bad for you right before. So he probably was like a glaring like presentation, but you were like prepared for it.
So obviously different. I dated a guy that was horrible before I met this guy. And it's like when that happens, if that happens for you, it only makes it more obvious when you meet someone. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, you're like...
How long
what I
did
was
you
doing
guys
before.
date before he proposed or what it turned into?
So we were best friends for like a year, then started dating. And once we got together, it was kind of just like we skipped that whole like getting to know you phase of dating, you know, because we were already so close. So we were just like, I remember like 3 months in, we were like, let's just get married. So we kind of did it fast. Like we were engaged, I think like a little bit after our year anniversary of dating, and then we got married like a year later.
Aww.
So we were pretty quick, but I don't know. Again, we knew.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you had that
So,
foundation, and you
the
work well
friendship thing
together.
helps.
Yeah.
Man. Well, how does that work? So you guys obviously worked together, and you knew you could work together prior. So it wasn't like you guys got married and then started a band and then had to figure out the kinks. So like, why do you think you guys work so well together?
We're pretty similar in a lot of ways. Like we definitely have differences, but like personality wise, we're both like pretty even keel, like pretty chill. So I don't know, but then like he has strengths that I don't. Like he's this amazing musician, and I'm kind of more like I like to do like the writing and the I'm just a singer really. I can play like a little bit. But so we just kind of like work really perfectly that way, like logistically. And then yeah, I don't know. We're really good for each other. Like, and there's definitely hard parts about it too. Like,
Yeah, like what's hard?
I think we care so much about Moxi. It's like our little passion project, our little child's kind of. And so like, when you get stressed out about something, like you kind of take it out on the person that's closest to you, you know? It's just like what happens. But it's hard with Moxi because if we're both stressed out, we're both just like taking it out on each other.
Right.
And it's fine, and we're like totally working through it, and I think we're getting a lot better at it. But there's like stuff like that gets kind of hard, you know?
That's a constant process, I think, though,
Yeah.
just learning how to maintain a normal level of communication. Because sometimes you're like, I don't know how to say this, or I don't want, or he should know, or whatever. But
You
just
sort of can't play those relationship games while you're working because you got to get things done.
yeah.
You gotta get it done.
Is it ever like you're sitting on the couch on a Sunday and like you're like, we gotta work, and he's like, no, it's Sunday.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Like, our days off, actually, we have, like, we both work on the weekends, so we have Monday through Wednesdays are like the days we take off. And last week, even like all we wanted to do, we were just like, let's go to a happy hour. But we had like all this stuff we had to get done.
Well, see, that's what. So, okay, so that's a good point that we're all bringing up here is balance, and we talk about that a lot too, just in life in general. But this is got to be a very specific balancing act for both of you because you are together romantically and working together. So how do you, when you're working together, are you like in like work mode? Do you get into like a different frame of mind, or are you still kind of a couple that's working together? Is it compartmentalized, or do you meld it all together?
I think it changes. Like there's times where we're very focused and it's totally like work, and then like we relax afterwards. But then there's nights like we were working on like new demos last week, and we're like drinking wine and, you know, having a great time. And so I don't know. I think we do like a
It's
little bit of
both because you
Yeah.
because you probably have to let your emotionality and your connection in there, because I'm sure your relationship inspires your music.
Oh yeah.
So you have to, you can't close that door, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. It's really fun. Like we have a studio at home, so
Oh, that's
we
nice.
just get to we're just in our studio.
And how do you feel like your relationship inspires your music? Like just the good, some of the bad, both?
A lot of the good, actually, with the Moxi songs. I don't think I've really written a song about being angry at him.
Or
I don't-
sad?
Not
or,
yet.
Yeah, not yet. That's right. But I don't know, we're both like total weirdos, so like just like things we're interested in inspire it, and like we'll get like talking about like aliens or whatever, and then we're like, let's write a song about aliens. I
Yeah.
know I sound so weird.
How
right
does
now,
that
but-
work? Okay, so
I love that.
Yeah.
We're total
How do
weirdos.
you
That's cute.
sing about aliens? Like, how does that inspiration even come out? Like, you're like sitting around talking about aliens, and you're like, I don't know why, for whatever reason, Phoebe Buffay comes to mind about smelly cats. But like, you're just like singing some lines, and then like a song comes up. Like, how does that happen?
Well, we have one song on the new EP. Wait, no, actually, it's not. We're gonna release it in the fall. It's a single, and it's called Dream Feed. No, Dreamland. What am I saying right now? I don't even know my
It's
own
the
songs.
tequila.
Well, yeah, it
Tequila.
probably is.
And we wrote it about like Andy has like all these crazy ideas about Planet Nine. I don't even know why I'm going down this hole.
No,
but I guess
we
I'm
like
already
it.
committed.
It's fascinating.
No,
because it's
we
something
want to know
So
the
we
process.
were
Yeah.
talking all about it one night, and like we just decided to write a song about it. And so there's like a line about, it's all about like an alien abduction kind of. But I don't know, I don't write like super literally. So it's
Yeah,
not,
it could
it's all
be-
like dreamy lyrics where like
Yeah.
you could take it as like whatever you want, but it's actually like we wrote it about an alien abduction.
I like that though.
which
When
could
you-
be a metaphor for life.
it could,
true, yeah.
You
but
could be
a lot
abducted
of
by anything.
a lot of songs like for example, and I think a lot of people know this, like Sting's song I'll Be Watching You is about his dog.
Oh.
He said every
That's
time he looked
hysterical.
over, his dog was staring at him, and he wrote a song.
It's
But like,
this little
That's
dog.
amazing.
Exactly,
And
but
she
it's
is
like-
always watching
She's so
me.
cute.
but you
Thank
have
you.
to find unique things like that to
Totally.
inspire you to write something that feels a little bit more like relatable to everybody, because otherwise it's the same fucking song over and over again.
yeah,
And it sounds like you
totally.
guys use your unique. You're called yourself
Gotta
weirdos.
get creative.
Yeah. Okay, so now you went on a retreat to Big Bear. And this is, speaking of
So
songwriting
fun.
process, and this is how this whole new EP came about, correct?
Yeah. So last winter, we just decided to rent a cabin. It's like this cute, adorable little cabin up there. It was like all snowy outside. I love cold weather.
me
So I was
too.
like, let's just get out of the city. Let's go up there. We brought like tons of wine, like so much wine. We were like, we're probably not gonna drink it all. We
No.
drank all of it.
Yep.
That's what happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
We
vortex of
brought-
wine.
Oh yeah. I like made lasagna. I like cooked. It was so fun. We just like
Cabin life.
holed up.
So good.
It's the best.
That sounds so good. I want to
So-
do that right now.
Yeah.
I know, it was amazing. We brought like all our recording equipment. It was magical. I want to do it again.
Did you go
But-
for that purpose or okay?
Yeah, we went like knowing we wanted to write, and it gets hard, you know, like day-to-day life and kind of like finding space to be creative. So we decided to go, and it ended up being very successful because pretty much every song on the new EP was written then. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
God,
so fun.
no
We, like,
pressure.
stayed
Yeah.
up super well, we weren't expecting it. That was the crazy thing. I was like, maybe we'll write a song or two, and we wrote like 6 songs. It's crazy. So
I love
but
that.
We had fun. Yeah.
That's good.
It was
It's
really
it's
fun.
also like getting in a relationship. You can't put the pressure of like this has to work out. You just sort of let it happen and you don't expect it really, or you have not any crazy expectations and you let things just happen organically and then you're married.
And then
Now
you're
we're
married.
And then you're married.
So now some of the songs, you know, came from, or probably all of your songs came from some sort of experience. And the title track is Figures Bathed in Light. Tell us about the inspiration for that song.
Yes. So a couple years ago, we were up in Santa Barbara. It was like 2 years ago, Labor Day, actually. And I don't know if you guys go up there on I think it's the 154. It's like this really windy road that takes you into like wine country. And there's like crazy cliffs. It like kind of reminds me a lot of Big Sur. There's just like drop-offs everywhere. It's really beautiful, but it's like kind of freaky to drive. And we were driving home and our car clipped the guardrail and just like instantly we just flew off. It was just like a teeny little mistake like that and we just went flying off right before this crazy bridge, like bridged with it just like crazy cliff.
Whoa.
And so we went flying off. I was actually asleep and so I woke up and I just see us like going straight off the cliff. That's like what I saw. So freaky. Like I remember it all like kind of in slow motion. Like I'm like looking at Andy and he was like, "I'm sorry." He like said, "I'm sorry" to me. It was so terrifying. But anyways, our car like hit this little guardrail that was hanging off of like the bridge. I guess the paramedics said they had just recently built it.
Probably for that
So
purpose
it's
because
crazy.
it was
Yeah. And the paramedics said too, like all the time people like die up there.
Wow.
So our car was kind of like hanging, but we both just had like whiplash and like a few scratches, like walked away.
How far did the
It was
drop?
crazy.
Was it?
I'm so bad at like measurements, but like, I don't know. It was big. Like,
Really?
I don't
And you
know.
guys just like
Andy says like a couple hundred feet, but is that really far? That seems like
that's
that far.
far,
to me.
and
Okay,
like
what
that's
Andy
what
says.
death comes from. Like,
Right?
how did you guys survive that? You must have
Luck.
meant to
I know.
be.
Well, the crazy thing too is right before that we were kind of going through like a weird like, do we want to do music? Like, what do we want to do with our lives? And like, kind of like going through like a lot of like introspection. And like that happened, and we were both just like, we survived this for a reason. Like everyone there, the cops, everyone were like, I don't know how you guys are alive.
Whoa.
So yeah, after that we kind of were just like it really changed us, honestly. Like
I'm
it
sure.
was kind of like changed like how we are with each other, like how we view life, like how we view our music. So we kind of just like went full force after that. We're like, we're here, we're alive.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, Figures Bathed in Light is about that. It's the lyric, I saw a figure bathed in light holding you from me, is kind of like I felt like in that slow motion, it like felt like Andy was gonna be like taken from me, like because that would have been even worse
If one of you-
if I survived.
Yeah.
Because I love him.
Yeah. No. Or for either of you, it would have been
Yeah,
a tragic
totally.
event to
I'm being all
have.
selfish.
But you both survived, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
So
So,
now you have this
crazy
beautiful music.
experience.
Yeah.
Well, so can we play some of Figures Bathed in Light?
Yeah. Marissa, our engineer, producer, has a little, and it's a beautiful song, and it does
you.
feel very like angelic. It now knowing the background of the story. And, you know, you said, oh, you wrote a song about aliens, but it doesn't really sound like it. Now, in this song could be anything, but now
Yeah.
knowing that, it's and it's very, like, ethereal, what you guys would call, but it is, like, very, makes sense for what, you know, and it's so great that you guys found the silver lining in that, like, crazy, potential tragic experience. It wasn't, thank God, a tragedy, but, like, just a scary experience. Wait, really quick before we play the song, how the hell did you guys get out? How'd they get you out? I need to know.
We could
You're
get
teetering
out.
on. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could get out, but like my coat was in the car and I was like shivering, probably just from
Shock.
And so I tried to go back to get my coat, and he wouldn't let me. Like the police officer was like, "Do not touch the car again," like because that's like how like close it
Oh
was.
my God.
It was crazy.
It's so.
I can't drive down that road. When
Oh.
we go up there, we go the long way. It
I
takes like
wouldn't-
an hour longer, but I,
I
don't
would
care.
for
Yeah,
sure
I
not
would
go on that
never.
road. Are you kidding?
Never. Yeah.
Or you could take the Amtrak
So
and just
scary.
sit there and
Oh my
drink
God,
wine.
that's fun.
That's
Have you
what
done
we
that?
should do.
I did
Yeah.
that.
We did that once. Yeah. It's
Oh,
fun.
that's so fun. Oh, I
best.
love doing that
know.
because then you're just
You
like, yeah.
hang out. Look
And
out
Someone
the
else is
window.
at the wheel. Like you can just chill.
Yeah. Or is it a wheel? On
I
a
don't think
train?
so. It's
I
like
think
a button or a
Who
lever.
knows?
It's
fine.
it's something that it's a steam button or a
I
train.
don't know.
Just a button.
But anyway, there's no cliffs and of the things,
Yeah,
and I
no
think it doesn't
cliffs.
take as long. It takes like the same amount of time.
Yeah,
to take
as
the
if you're
train.
driving.
Probably with
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Way
so
more
we're gonna.
enjoyable.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna play some of your songs.
yeah, here it is. And what was the line that you said?
It's I saw a figure named my holy name Emmy. Right before the
Drop down to the floor, hold my head in your hands. I fell asleep on you, so we lost in the end. I saw a figure bathed in light, holding you from me.
Okay, there it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the part where you say I fell asleep or what is that like a literal like you were sleeping in
Yeah.
the car? Oh my God, this
Yeah.
is so good. I love knowing the story behind things like that. You know they do those behind the music
Yes,
things and stuff.
that was our
this
version.
Is so, but that's why like I think it's really important to pay attention to the details in your life in anything, in a work situation, in a relationship, like paying attention to things that you like and what you don't like, or even in a bad situation, taking it all in and using it for the good. Like this is really an interesting way to come about this like beautiful song.
Well, also, I think it's very important to show you as a couple too, like that you can get through hard times.
Totally.
Because they do say, that sometimes hard times will tear you apart because you each react and respond differently to things, or you internalize and you go through it on your own.
Yeah.
But you guys seem to have been able to use this to come together.
Yeah, well, we both like our gut instinct is to just create whenever we're upset. It's kind of like therapy
Good.
for us.
Yeah,
so
it's a good outlet.
Anytime there's like something wrong, that's kind of what we do, and it's so nice to have him. Like, I'm so glad that I found a partner that like has the same thing because we get to do it together, and it's like I struggle a lot with like. I'm a very emotional person, so I'm like ups and downs a lot. So it's cool. Like I'll have a really bad day, and he'll just be like, "Let's write a song," and it truly does like help like us at least.
It helps that you both
Very
communicate the
therapeutic.
same
Yeah.
way or get it out the same way. And so you
totally.
both know how to talk about it, which
Yeah.
is very helpful because communication is key.
Sure is. We
Very
are
true.
going to now play a game with you.
Quick
Quick
little
game.
fun game.
And we love that you guys are in a romantic and working relationship and you have the best of both worlds. And sometimes couples that play together don't stay together. So we're going to list a bunch of celebrity couples of the past and present and see if you know about your peers. And if you know that they're still together, you'll say Moxi.
Okay.
And if you think a couple is split or you know that they've split, you're going to say On the Roxy.
Okay. Love it.
In a game we like to call On the Mox.
I don't know if I'll
On
be
the
good.
Mox.
but we'll
Just
see.
guess. Some of them are tricky, some of them are not. Okay, William H. Macy and Felicity Huffman.
Oh, On the Rocks.
No.
Oh shit.
Moxie, they are still together. They've been together for like ever.
See, this is where
Forever.
I'm gonna be bad. I'm
No.
really
Okay,
bad
you'll
with
know some.
names.
That's fine. You can take a
Yeah.
drink every time you get it wrong.
Yeah. Okay. How about Jack and Meg White?
I'm gonna say On the Rocks.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they were the White Stripes and they are no longer.
Yeah.
But
no
that's
longer.
not like Moxie.
No.
Okay, what about Toby Maguire and Jennifer Meyer?
I'm gonna say Moxie.
On the Rocks. They split up, and I did not know about that until I just looked it up.
Yeah.
They're under the radar a little bit.
Yeah. All right. How about Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr.?
On the Rocks.
No,
No.
they're still
I
together
almost
Which
too.
is so crazy because
They've been
also,
together. Yeah,
They've
they
like stood the test of time.
They met
been together?
and were doing work too, and like stayed together and are both actors and
Yeah.
things. Okay, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick.
On the Rocks.
No,
I'm so bad.
No,
Just
it's
keep
fine.
drinking.
Just
That's
drink.
fine. It's a good excuse for you to drink. Okay. How about Joy Williams and John Paul White?
Oh, I think they got Rocky, but I think they're Moxie though.
No, they are the Civil Wars, and they are done.
Oh, I was thinking Joy. That was Joy's husband because wasn't she married before?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought there was like some drama, and they like I don't know.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's why they had good music. but
Okay,
they are
we'll
no
we'll
longer.
do one more crazy couple that are both, again, like all these artists, Helena Bonham Carter and Tim Burton.
Moxie.
On the Rocks. They split up too.
got, like, one
But
right.
you think like they are the perfect fucking couple.
Yeah, because they're weird as
They're
shit.
so super weird, but no, they split up too. Damn it!
Everyone splits up.
I know, but
Except
not
the ones that
except
stayed together, like the couple that we said.
they did. Okay, so before we let you go, remind everyone what you have coming up,
Where they can get the EP.
Oh yes. So the EP is called Figures Bathed in Light. You can get it anywhere: iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever you want to do.
Great.
We have a lot of shows coming up, mostly like Southern Orange County. But we'll play some LA stuff. We're playing in San Francisco in October. I just found out. today.
Fun.
I'm
So
very
where can
excited.
everyone see your tour schedule?
On my website, which is moxielovesyou.com.
And that's where everyone can follow you as well,
yeah,
right?
social media is Moxie Loves You. Moxie was taken, so Moxie
But that's-
loves you.
but-
I mean,
They
that's so
do.
positive, and you do
Yeah.
love your fans, so great.
I love
Yes,
you.
amazing. All right.
yeah,
Well, thank you
it
so
out.
much. Next time we're gonna
Thank
have to have you come
you.
back in with Andy, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna like grill him
Yes,
and play the
then you'll be,
newlywed
like,
game.
Obsessed with it.
I'm sure we will.
And his brother, hopefully.
yeah,
yes.
we'll bring his brother.
Okay, perfect.
It's like the newlywed game and a matchmaking game, all in one.
That's the new reality show,
Oh
guys.
my God! Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank you so much.
And don't
Of course.
forget, you guys, to tune in next week for our interview with each other.
Yeah, guys, we are going to make each other answer some tough questions, and we're going to answer some listener questions too. So if you want to get your questions in before the show, send them by Sunday.
Yeah,
to
you've got a couple days.
Complicated Show on all the socials.
Yeah.
And that is that. We'll see you guys then. Where can people follow you?
Everyone can follow me at Lauren Leonelli on all of the socials.
And you can follow me at Jennifer Golden on all of the socials as well. And we will see you.
Yeah, you guys don't
Then.
forget to tell a friend, rate and comment, and we deliver this content for you for free. So we're grateful that you keep coming back and listening every week, and we will see you guys next week. So love you long time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.